Here's what's up. Our series continues on to 1972, and fair warning, this is the most forgettable lineup of songs yet. Maybe not the best way to convince you to watch this video, but hey, this is about to be a 50-something part series by the time it's all said and done. Some years are going to be easier to skip than others. But don't skip this video yet, please. Because the vast majority of these songs are so horribly mediocre, I'm going to do my best to make this video as short as possible while also going sufficiently in depth. So with all that in mind, we're going to get started on our Billboard grades of 1972, Speedrun Edition. As always, be sure to check out the other videos in this series if you need a quick catch-up. And before we get into this video, of course, let's begin with the honorable mentions, most of which are worlds better than anything actually on the list.
I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. Yes, I love you. Touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, no, no. I'm just a hunker burning love. Just a hunker burning love. You got me on my knees. Make it down and please. I'll be the roundabout. The words will make you out and out. I spend the day away. Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day.
Been the two of us need look no more.
Even though this list is gonna largely be disappointing, at least we're starting on one of the better ones. Ben is not the most complex song in the world. It's very slow and a little schmaltzy, but even as a child, Michael Jackson's great vocals are enough to elevate it into being pretty good. The melody is pretty nice, and on the spectrum from pretty to boring, it leans more in favor of pretty. So Ben is going to be put in the B tier.
Let me take you now. I'll take you there. Oh, let me take you there. I'll take you there.
I'm willing to fully accept any and all accusations of being biased for this one. I had a 70s greatest hits CD at my house when I was young, and this song was one of the ones included. While it's not an amazing song by any means, it still contains enough nostalgia for me that I can't not give it a decent grade. Is it unfair? Maybe. Do I care? No. Is this my list? Yes. In my list, personal nostalgia is included amongst other grading criteria. So I'm going to put this song in B, and we've actually started with 2 B-level songs. But don't worry, it only goes downhill from here.
There's a spark of magic in your eye.
For a lot of these radio filler type songs, you can usually tell exactly the quality they're going to be based on the title of the song or the name of the band. There's a nice bell curve that you start to see where on one side are songs with boring titles and on the other side are songs with ridiculous titles. Opposite sides of the curve, both resting squarely on the bottom. This song is a great example of this. For a song called Betcha by Golly Wow, it sure is dull. I would expect something a little bit more upbeat, not whatever this is. This song's gonna be put in C. I said I'd keep it short with these kinds of songs, and I promise I'll do better going forward.
I wanna live, I wanna give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold.
Unpopular opinion, I do not like this song. I do not like Neil Young either. Really, I just don't like his voice. Neil Young has been praised historically for his unique voice, but one of the pitfalls of having a non-standard vocal sound is that not everyone will vibe with it, including me. Think of guys like Bob Dylan, unique to some, bad to others. Heart of Gold itself sounds fine, but I just don't want to hear Neil Young's Mickey Mouse sounding voice. I can't do it. I want to turn the song off whenever I hear it. This goes for all of his songs. Usually the music itself is alright, but it's tainted by Carl Wheezer on vocals. For that reason, it's almost impossible for me to ever grade a Neil Young song higher than a C, which is where I will be putting Heart of Gold. Okay, I lied. Now we're gonna speed things up.
If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right.
This song goes about -7 beats per minute. It's so slow that I feel time itself is slowing down. Ballads are fine. Slow songs are fine. Not this slow though. I told you we'd be going faster now. This song is going in C tier.
My ding-a-ling, I wanna play with my ding-a-ling.
Okay, Chuck Berry, you have just achieved an honor no one before you has reached. The honor of F tier. This is the most horrible song we've covered, by a long shot. Chuck Berry, one of the architects of rock and roll, an invaluable figure in music history, nearly on the level of Elvis or Frank Sinatra, the Johnny B. Good guy. There's no way he didn't intentionally craft this song to sound like he's singing about his own schlong. It's too obvious. I certainly don't want to hear a song that makes repeated reference to the singer's ding-a-ling. And I think it's safe to say nobody else does either. This song, like its chorus would suggest, is total penis. One of the worst songs we'll be getting to for sure.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the things you say and do.
Hey, remember Tony Orlando? You don't? Well, this song sounds like it would have been made by him, so anyway, moving on, C tier. I can't take these songs that feel the need to go so slow. This has certainly been a recurring issue in the 70s, but rest assured, this problem has never gone away. Every generation has had entirely too many songs with absolutely no tempo or driving force, or reason to keep listening. Again, this song will go in C like so many before it. It's not bad enough to be noteworthy, but it's not good enough to be noteworthy either.
They say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be.
This song also isn't very interesting, but to be fair, my girlfriend likes it, so I'll be nice. Not nice enough to move it higher than C, but C+ seems fair. Yeah.
I'm so in love with you.
Finally, we get back to a good one. For the previous year, I gave Tired of Being Alone by Al Green a C, and I said it was because I didn't really relate to the slow jam style of music that he was going for. I think Let's Stay Together is a much better song. It's probably the song that Al Green is most known for. I still don't typically listen to this type of music, but I think this is a perfectly decent song. Made so much better because it's resting smack dab in the middle of a sea of C's. You see what I did there?
Daddy, don't you walk so fast.
Boring, 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 boring. The only thing even remotely noteworthy to be gained here is that I remembered Wayne Newton being in National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation. Clearly the worst addition to the Vacation series, which is fitting. The song's going in C tier.
I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
This song is pretty good, if only by proxy. The only reason I ever knew about this song is because its melody is sampled in the Irish Brigade song Kinky Boots, a hilarious anti-England song.
Oh, I've got a brand new shiny helmet and a pair of kinky boots.
I can't really hear Brand New Key without immediately thinking of Kinky Boots. Probably not a good thing for this song, but hey, at least it makes me feel something of a positive emotion. The chorus is pretty catchy, for what it's worth, and it really does make me feel like roller skating, so I guess it does its job. This song is gonna go in B tier.
Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me.
Any song that is this slow just makes me feel like throwing my radio out the window. I don't have much more to say about it. I haven't heard more than a minute of this song in my life. It's so boring, I simply can't. Yet again, we have a C tier.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
It took us 13 whole songs to get there, but we finally have a song that's really good. You've already heard this song. You don't need me to harp on what makes it good. You already know. It's rare that a slower song has the ability to be as sing-alongable as this one, which is truly a magnanimous accomplishment considering how truly unsing-alongable most everything else here is. So Lean On Me is gonna go in A tier.
Promise me the day that you quit your boyfriend.
This guy sounds like he really wants to be James Brown, and he just isn't. C tier.
Who can take a sunrise? Sprinkle it with you.
This song sounds like it was from a rejected Christmas special. Like we've got Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Reindeer, the Heat Miser. Why couldn't we also get the Candyman? Alright, because that would be super lame. C tier.
No, I can't forget tomorrow when I think of all my sorrow.
5 seconds in, and I am already skipping this song. I'm sorry. That's all I can handle. This song is nothing. It's C tier.
I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Yes! At last! This is a top 5, nay, a top 3 song of all time ever made, in my humble opinion. It's perfect. American Pie paints a vivid picture of the state of music history up to 1972. And I feel like there's a good reason this song is often referenced in high school history classes. Yeah, I could go all day about why I love this song and why I think it's great, but to save time, I'll just express my approval by giving it the highest grade I can. S tier.
Alone again, naturally.
Gilbert. After the high that was American Pie, we sadly come crashing back down to earth with the thoroughly unspectacular Alone Again, naturally. You hate to see it, but for every S tier that we come across on these charts, there's about 6,000 C tiers. So yeah, C tier.
The first time ever I saw your face.
We round out 1972 with a song that, much like Bridge Over Troubled Water 2 years earlier, swept the big three. It won the Grammy for Record of the Year, the Grammy for Song of the Year, and it finished number 1 on the Billboard year-end chart. Did it deserve these honors? Debatable. Personally, I would have given all these awards and more to American Pie, but that's just me. This song, sadly, does not really do anything to set itself apart from the rest of the field. It's just as slow and bland and nothing as 90% of the rest of this chart is. So our year-end number 1 is gonna go into C tier. As I've done every other time, at the end of these videos, I'll list out my 3 favorites and 3 least favorites from the top 20. And starting out with the worst list, I had a little trouble coming up with my 3 worst. Obviously, there's one glaring candidate for worst song of the bunch, but there's not really any others that could be considered all that bad. They're mostly guilty of just being boring and samey sounding, but if I had to pick 2 more songs for the worst list, I think I'd go The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, Heart of Gold, and of course, at number 1, My Ding-a-ling. The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face isn't bad. Obviously, from its placement in C tier, I don't think it's bad. But for a song this average and unspecial sounding to have literally swept all of the music awards in 1972, it just adds a level of disappointment. For Heart of Gold, this song is so high on the worst list, mostly because I just can't deal with Neil Young's voice, and it makes the song itself pretty obnoxious. And of course, for My Ding-a-ling, yeah, no shit, this is number 1. This may very well have a case for being the worst song I've ever heard in my life. Okay, now on to more positive things. For my top 3 best songs, I'd go Brand New Key, Lean On Me, and American Pie. American Pie, it's clearly the best, it's clearly number 1. The only other song to finish higher than B was Lean On Me, so naturally that made second place an easy choice too. Third place was a bit of a toss-up, but I figured that the fact that Brand New Key actually has a hummable chorus, unlike most of the other songs here, that alone gives it big points. Alright, that is all for today. I hope you stick around for 1973 and whatever else I might release in the coming future. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call